Hi everyone, this is Bella from Unlock Your Design. It's time for the Jinky horoscope for January 21st and 22nd. This is a big weekend. First, we have a new moon on Saturday, and then we have the Rave New Year on Sunday. In front of you, you have the chart for Friday, and here we have new gates in the radiance and the purpose. We have the 60, the 56, 28, and the 27. The energy of this cross is to help put brakes on change. There's a great balance between tradition and change. Progress is all about change, but if it was left unchecked, pure progress would create chaos. I would say this is the last break before we actually go into the Rave New Year. On Friday, what I felt strongly today is that Saturn is now in gate 30. I happen to have the 41. So I was feeling this emotional energy connecting with my root and my fuel to experience. And that has been a little bit destabilizing for me. The fact that we also have the 28 twice when we look at the Jinky chart, of course, that's the Scorpio energy and it goes deep and it's emotional, it's water energy. So I understand that's an energy that many of us can have felt. We also have the 44 here in the traction being a Scorpio gate and this keynote actually of entrapment or even manipulation in relationships. Let us move to the new moon that happens at 3:53 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. We have a 6-2 profile and you see this lining up in gate 60 of the sun, the moon, and Pluto. And if we look in a detailed way on the exact lines, you can see that we have a 6th line for the sun and the moon, and then we have a 3rd line for Pluto. And we can even see that when it comes to the sun and the moon, they're already in Aquarius and Pluto is still in Capricorn. However, you see how close they are in the same gate. So we still have this new moon in gate 60, in the gate of limitation, which in some ways sets some breaks even forward for the next lunation up until the full moon. So like I've said before, all the planets are going to be direct and there is going to be a lot of energy forward. There is something here still that's asking us to still look at this energy at the end of the Rave Mandala, the gate of limitation, the gate of structure. In the Jinky chart, we see this theme of overview in the 6-2 profile, but is to look at where we've been and have an objective view on that. We have a lot of Scorpio inside of the chart, which is fixed water and emotions and letting go of the things that we don't need anymore, that aren't allowing our waters to be clear. The purpose is the 27, which has to do with nurturing. That happens when we can see ourselves in the other. So relationships that are worth it, where we can see eye to eye, where we have reciprocity, where it's natural to be with this theme of purpose. It feels like we're on the same soul fractals. We have something deep to do together. Scorpio is also the abyss. We're going down into the deep waters together. We see that the core wound here is the 4, together with the 43 as well, and knowing for the 7 sacred seals that the 43 is coding for the 4th seal, which is the 4th line core wound. There is this theme of rejection, something that we're able to heal when we come back to our innocence, when we see the big perspective, when we're able to discern who are part of my purpose, of my life path, of my vision and my mission in life, 6th line. We see in the body graph that we have no black channels. So a reflector chart for the new moon, a lot of openness, a lot of reflective energy, a lunar body graph for the new moon. Before we move on to Sunday, let's say a few things about Aquarius because we are in Aquarius season for the next month. Aquarius is the water carrier. It's the masculine polarity. It's fixed. The element is air. The quarter in the astrological wheel is the quarter of integration of self with society. The ruler is Uranus, it's the 11th house, and it's transpersonal. Let us look at some of the qualities in Aquarius. Inquisitive, intelligent, with a need to understand concepts at a deeper level and to see the full spectrum of how things connect and work together. Aquarius is the genius, rebel, inventor, visionary, humanitarian, scientist, activist. Aquarius needs freedom, independence, creativity, self-expression on its own term. The internal desire of Aquarius is to do something different and fascinating that serves humanity. It cares about the rights of man. Aquarius Potentials combines talents into something that can be offered and that contributes to the bigger picture. It's connected to other dimensions or realms, opens pathways for others to follow, shares individual energy with multiple people through friendships, connections, and larger communities, may use new technologies and the virtual space to connect to others. Those slides were from our masterclass on Aquarius season, where we're creating a roadmap for aligned action with the archetypes and the energy that the sun is activating in Aquarius. We are going to do that for each and every sign this whole year. So you can sign up for that whole year and come through the wheel with us, or you can get the replay of the Aquarius Roadmap Masterclass. It also has a 17-page PDF that goes together with the masterclass. The Aquarius energy is connected to the energy of the Rave New Year, the 41, the code ring of origin, and the gate that stands for the fuel to feel, what starts the human experimental way. And according to genetic matrix, the Rave New Year happens at 7:52 in the morning, UTC time. So here you see the body graph for the Rave New Year, and you see that we have two connections between the root center and the emotional center. And then we have a lot of openness. So this is going to be consistent energy that is going to impact us, because this is the theme as the sun is moving into gate 41. And we see that it's the moon. So the moon is not even going to stay a long time in the 19, but it's there as we're going into gate 41. And then, like I said in the beginning, Saturn has moved into 30, and that's also what creates that electromagnetic channel with the sun in the 41 and the 30. So the channel of synthesis and the channel of recognition. This is the astrological chart for the Rave New Year, and here you see that what was together, the conjunction that we had in 60, not even 24 hours before. Now we have the sun moving on in 41 and the moon is already 19. And that's the gates that you could see in the body graph. Here we have the gene key chart for the Rave New Year. You see the incarnation cross, the 41, the 31, the 28, and the 27. This is the cross of the unexpected. This is the cross that we start every Rave New Year with. It's always a 1-3 profile. The cross of the unexpected is going to take many different turns. The primary driver of this cross is the 28, which is that Scorpio energy that is looking for purpose. And it's connected to the 38, which is the gate of the fighter. So the 28 is looking for the purpose, when to fight and where isn't there purpose to fight. We call it the daredevil. In human design, is the game player, the preponderance of the great, the energy that's working its way through aspects of life, trying to get a deeper meaning with aspects of the physical reality. And then the purpose sphere here is gate 27, which is the gate of caring and nourishing. So this is a loving energy to care for and sustain the body and life so it can continue on. Then we have the main archetype, which is gate 41, the gate of contraction or decrease. This is rhythmic expanding energy, but in order to fuel the expansion, it first needs to contract. This is the energy that can feel like melancholy, because it's that fuel to feel. But what if the 30 is not there on the other side, ready to meet? You see here in the body graph. Then the last one is the 31, which is leading or influence. And this is the energy to lead and step forward, to voice the leadership in certain situations. It's the leadership to the cohesive collective. It's logical circuitry. Other things we see here is that we have the attraction, the 34, which is either forcing or inner strength. So that's going to be a theme for us in relationships, according to the gene keys. The Rave New Year is asking, are you forcing your relationship or are you in your inner balance? And then a first line is always that theme of self-centeredness. And when you're self-centered, the soil is not fertile for your relationships. You can't plant anything. So for the first line, it's to get out of that self-centeredness and look for relationships that are worth it, that are win-win for both people. Individualistic energy, definitely. A 1-3 profile in a first line in the attraction. It's going to be individualistic energy. And at the same time, with all those fourth lines in the core wound, the SQ and the EQ, we are looking for our community. We are looking for people that can hear and understand us, that can see and feel our truth. Together with the 28 that we have several times, the purpose. So how can we be empowered together to walk into the future in this new Aquarian energy that the year is starting with? These are the main energies activated this weekend, and it doesn't stop there. The moon is going to start this moon cycle, and it's going to be with us for the next few weeks up until the full moon. And with the Rave New Year, we know that this sets the tone for the year. So everything we spoke about today is going to be alive for a long time for us. Thank you so much, and I will see you again next week.